Hey guys, welcome to Tooling with Newman. So today I'm going to go over my top 6 M12 tools, Milwaukee M12 tools. So I run Milwaukee. I've been running Milwaukee for years, donkey's years, 20 years I've been running Milwaukee. I run M18 and I run M12. However, I mainly run M12. So I'm going to go through a list of my top 6 M12 tools, but I'm also going to add in there a couple that I don't like, and I'll add in there a couple that I love also. So stick on around and listen up for what I got to say. So let's dig on into this. My first up is the Milwaukee. This is the SDS, the M12. This is part number 241620. And then I got this in a kit. This came with the charger, and it came with a little bag. However, what I did is I had got the Milwaukee, this is the toolbox, and I cut some foam to fit it in, and I also cut the foam to fit this into. I cut this all by hand. So I created this little like carry case here where I have my SDS drill bits and then more SDS drill bits, and I cut it to fit it in here. So Milwaukee just came out with a new one of these at Packout. That has the chip-in function. So this one only has drill and hammer drill. The new one has a chip-in function, so therefore you could use like bits like that. So am I gonna get to? I don't know, man. This thing really works good. I really like it. So the chip-in function would be very handy, you know, just for anything, just some light chip-in, or if, you know, for instance, not so long ago, I was doing some baseboard, and then a little bit of the concrete was there, and it was just sitting the baseboard up, and I had to go out to the truck, I had to get a chisel, I had to try and hack it away, and it was just a pain in the ass. So if I had a little chip-in function here, it would be quite easy just to chip that up. So maybe I do, maybe I don't know, but in the meantime, this guy's awesome. Until we get that one out. It's lightweight, you know, it's only a couple pounds. It feels really ergonomical in the hand. You know, you could hear it. It puts in work. You know, it's got the status bar here. Just a really good tool. I've always been a fan of SDS drills. I just have, and they work great. I do like them. So that's why this guy comes in at number 6. It's just a really well-made tool. I highly recommend it if you're looking into getting one of these. All right. All right. Number 5 is my Milwaukee M12 5 3/8 circular saw. This guy is part number 2521-20. That's 2521-20. So I've had the last model. This is the newer model. I had the last model too, and I love it so much that I did upgrade to this one. Really good saw. It's basically designed to do some type of little work around, you know, basically small work. If you're going to use it if you're a framer and you're using a circular saw all day, or your roof or something, this is not the tool for you. You know, get the M18. It's has a lot more juice. You know, the battery will last a lot longer. However, this guy is good enough for me. It's good enough. So the newer model, it has basically the bottom is plastic here. I'm trying to think of a couple of things that are different. It has basically the shooting function. This is a chute here, and the chute basically grabs the sawdust and spits it out both sides, and that's sort of like, so basically it clears your line of sight for when you're cutting. It does have the rafter hook. The old one didn't have the rafter hook here. I'm trying to think of what else is about the new one. So the other day I did some cuts in a house. I actually attached my vacuum to it, so that it was very minimal dust, if any. So it worked really good there. And it's just a really handy tool, man. And it, for being such a small and lightweight tool, it packs a good little punch, dude. It's a good little beast. Here I have the rip fence. This is the Milwaukee made rip fence. I got it online. So if any of you want it was hard to find. You couldn't get it on Home Depot. You couldn't get it on Amazon. It was for different models, but I got it from I think it's Great Lakes Power Company. Anyway, if any of you want that, let me know in the comments, and I can attach it. So like I said, this was for the old model. and it just happened to work on this model. So it's a rip fence. So all you do, you put it in, and let's say if I need to cut like 6 inches or something, it keeps your guide on, it keeps you level on there, which is cool. It works good. I wish the rip fence would be a little bit longer, just because then I could do a little bit longer cuts, but that's okay. It's good. It's definitely good enough. What else can I say about this? That's pretty much all I could think of. Here, if I put the battery in so you guys could hear it. So it has your battery indicator bar there. There is a light under here. So yeah, there's your light there. It has a light. So it has all your functions. It goes to 45 degree. You can rock it on 45 degree. So it's good. You could do your blade depth. Here's your blade depth here, so you can adjust the depth of your blade. So it's a good little saw. You've got your wrench in there, so you could change out your blade. You know, so you have an all-in-one. Again, when you take off your blade, it's opposite in it. Not righty tighty, lefty loosey. It's lefty tighty, righty loosey. Just FYI. So, but highly recommend this. That's why this guy comes in at number 5. Number 4. So part number 4 is the M12 cutoff tool. Now this guy is part number 25. Was it 2220? I think it was. It was 252220. So it's a cutoff tool. I got this. This came in a kit, pretty much with everything. I want to say it was like 220 bucks, and there was everything in this kit. I think right now at Home Depot you get a free tool with it. I think. I don't know, but at the time of this video, you could buy this from Home Depot, this kit, and then you get a free tool with it. So I have it in the pack out organizer. I have it in they call it compact organizer, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's the 5 compartment one, the deep one. And in here is a John Pope 3D print. So I 3D printed the insert here. It just makes storing it, and I can store blades with it. You know, I can store batteries. I have the cutoff tool there, and under here you also have your. This is basically a vacuum guard / depth guard here that you can attach to it to help you with the cuts. I personally don't use this, and you hook your vacuum up to that. I like I said, I haven't used this yet, but maybe in the future I will. Who knows? But I haven't used it yet. But that all comes in that kit, and then you get like a couple of wheels. You know, if I can slide your wheel here, so you've got the metal cutting wheel, the carbide abrasive wheel, and then I've got a couple of other. This is a diamond tile wheel there, and then here I have just various other like not Milwaukee wheels here that I use for cutting. I mainly only use this for cutting like metal, pretty much any quick metal cuts. But I tell you, for a little tool, this guy packs a punch. It's so handy. It's ready to go. Probably the only thing I would say that I'm not like a huge fan of would be the fact that, you know, your cutting depth, you know, you can only cut. It's like 3/4 of an inch. You know, you're cutting. Now, granted, if you have like, let's say you have let me get a piece of wood. Let's say you have a piece of wood somewhere. Hold on. I'm just getting a piece of wood. That ain't gonna work. So let's say you have a piece of wood here. You know, you can cut all around it pretty much to use it, which, so you can get it done, but like that, I mean, I don't use it. I use it to only cut metal. And it's worked really, really good so far. If you need this in your workflow, you know, this is a good one to use. And obviously it's M12. You can hear them RPMs there. And what I like about it, you can go reverse, forward, reverse, forward. So it's a pretty handy little tool that you can go forward, reverse in, like if you're cutting just to get kind of out of a jam. And just for what you need it for, this is a cool little tool. This is the M12 cutoff tool. This is a great little one. So that's why this guy makes my list. I'm going to actually use the Diablo general purpose thick metal, no problem. All right, the next one I have is the M12 planer. This is part number 2524-20 it is. So this guy, it ain't too cheap, this planer. This is about 220 bucks for the bare tool. This is at Home Depot. But I tell you, for a little planer, this guy works absolutely excellent. It's very, very handy. You have a spare blade. You have spare blades in the back here. You know, obviously it runs on M12 tool. M12 tools, M12 batteries. So it's very compact, very lightweight. You have all these different. So you have 5/64 all the way up to 0 of the depth that you cut off. It has a vac. You can swing this to either side, whichever way you want your dirt to come out of, or your offcuts. It has a vacuum attachment that you can slide in here, and it attaches to a vacuum, so you could suck up like all your chippings. If you're like, for instance, I used it not too long ago to shave a door off that was catching, and it was upstairs in the house with carpet. Last thing I want to do is get a bunch of that sawdust everywhere. So I actually just attached the clip, and then I attached the vacuum to it, and it actually pretty much got almost everything. So this guy is brushless. It has your power indicator here, so you know how much you've got in your battery. You can see that. If you listen to it, it just sounds like an absolute beast, and it is. It really, really is. Let me take the battery out before I mess with the blade. It really, really is. If you look at to change your blade is easy, the Allen key, and it's just a really good little tool. Very, very well made. You know, it's not something that I personally use every day. However, the couple of times I have needed it, it's a really, really good tool. So that's why that guy comes in at number 3. So check that guy out. Like I said, $220 right now at HomeDepot.com.
I know we can't be tamed. Remember the name. Leveling up, yeah, we breaking the chains. Playing with fire, don't rattle the cage. Pushing.
All right, and the next contestant is the Milwaukee M12 Surge. So this guy is part number 255120. So this is the Surge. I have a boot on here. Here, I'll take off the boot. So I have a boot on here. Because it is my everyday driver. So this is the M12 Surge. So they just came out with an M18 Surge on the at the last PACA, whatever the Milwaukee meeting's called. I forgot what it's called. But they just what is it called? It's gonna drive me nuts. I forgot what it's called. Anyway, they just came out with a new Milwaukee M18 pipeline. Milwaukee pipeline. That's it. I knew it came to me. So they just came out with the M18 of the Surge because the Surge was so popular. So what the Surge is it's basically your standard impact, right? But what it does have is there's no metal on metal grindings in there, and basically it's all basically changed on the inside to make it so it's twice as quiet as all other impacts. Basically designed to use in apartment buildings, in people's houses, all stuff like that. So you're not in there using the impact creating a shitload of noise. So, but I tell you, man, I do love. You hear that? I do love the Surge, man. And obviously you've got your different speeds here, 1, 2, 3, and then drilling, which is handy. And I use this. This is probably the driver I use. I would say probably 50 to 60% of the time I use this one, just because I love it. So this guy right now, I want to say last time I looked, it went. I think it was like 150. Whenever I last looked at it at Home Depot, it was like 149, something like that at HomeDepot.com. So you can get it for a pretty good deal if you're looking for an upgrade of an impact. It is handy with the Surge function. It is quiet. So that's why that guy comes in at number 2. So here's your Milwaukee Surge, which, like I said in the video, is designed to be quiet. So if you can hear, just to give it a little whirl here, you hear it's a lot less quieter than a standard impact that's like brrr. No, it's a lot less quieter. You hear that? That's pretty much what the surge is designed to be like. It's nice and quiet. My favorite M12 tool, and I store it in the Milwaukee Packout. So this guy's in the Packout organizer. I'll open it up. Ta-da! This is number one. This is the Milwaukee M12 insulation driver. This is part number 2505-20. Last time I looked, it was $179 and it came in a bag with a battery and all your heads and all that. So I have this in a Packout organizer, and here is a 3D printed insert from 10 Spot Tools. And I'll go through this and show you also, and I'll show you the reasons why. So why is this? So I was always hesitant to get this guy, the insulation driver, because I have multiple different impacts. You know, I have a bunch of different things, drills. So it's like, you know, I have a bunch of different right angle attachments. It's like, am I really going to use that? You know, for it was like 100, like I said, 179. I'm like, almost $200, dude. Is it worth it? I don't know. So I'm going back and forth. Eventually, I pulled the trigger. And I tell you, I have been extremely happy with it. It has a good little bit of torque for being an installation driver. It is just, and all these heads are absolutely fantastic. So they're quick. If you don't know about it, it's a quick set head. So there, I could use it, and you could hear. You hear it? This is on one, and then forward, reverse. A lot of times I'll keep my hand on the drill and I'll use my thumb to go back and forward, reverse, which is pretty cool. So like I say, all right, so you can use it also in this Packout. I have a full set of drills here. I've got a battery. I've got multiple other bits, and I have all my heads stored in here. So here you have you know, your standard drill head. Boom, you could put that in. All right, you take that off. You've got your right angle head here, so you can attach it. If you're working on a right angle, you'll probably work it like that. You know, if you're working on a right angle. All right, take that out. Take off that head. Let me change it. Okay, this is a really handy adapter. This is an offset adapter. If you see how it's offset there. So that's a really good one for like assembling furniture and stuff like that. You can get right on in on the corner and get it assembled in there. That's a really good one. I do like this offset adapter. And then you also have your standard one, which is the one I use a lot of the time. And then you just put in your chuck there, which is pretty cool. You can also, what's cool about it is you could use the right angle adapter here, and then you could put some on top of the right angle adapter too. So if you want to get like tight area there, you can add them together to kind of, at least on the right angle adapter, you can add them all on top of the right angle adapter. This guy's in my way. Let me get this guy out of the way. So there it is there. Just inside of here, this is a little flat. I've got some more bits inside of there. So it's a handy little case. And that's why this guy comes in at number 2. I use this all the time, dude. It's amazing how often I actually grab this. I just do. It's a really good little tool. If you're thinking about buying it and you get it, I promise you will not be disappointed. It is very well made piece of equipment. I'm putting it all back now. That's about it for this one, Milwaukee installation driver. So here's your installation driver. One thing I didn't mention was there's a magnet on the front here to where you can keep bits or you can keep screws, whatever you want. And it's a pretty good magnet. It stays on there. But let's go I want to show you some drilling. So here I'm in reverse. I just reach up with my thumb, pick it to forward, and okay, that's in 1. Now this is 2. See how quick and how strong that is? Great drill. 12 is, so these are 2 batteries. You obviously have the small one and the bigger one. These are both the high outputs. This is a 4.0. No, 5.0. I'm sorry. This is the high output 5.0, but this is a STS magnet on the bottom here. So I can, if I move it up here, you can magnetically, let's get this up here. I can magnetically put it on the wall even with a tool on it, you know, and then same with this one. You can attach it to anywhere that's magnet. It's just handy, a handy little function, I guess you would say. Now let's go over a couple I don't like. So there is a couple I bought over the years that I do not like. Not many. Most Milwaukee tools I like. So one of them I don't like is this one here. So this is the Milwaukee, the M12 Red Lithium, the 6.0. So this guy, I bought this guy a while ago, and I paid a significant amount for it, just because I figured it would last that much longer. But I tell you, this thing's gone bad. Hats off to Milwaukee. They have sent me a replacement. I've warrantied it like 3 times. They have sent me a replacement a number of times. So I'll give them that. Milwaukee have honored it, and they've sent me a new battery. But it just died. It's died like 4 times, and it just won't. When I say die, it just won't hold its charge. I'll use it once or twice, and then that's it. There's no more life out of it. So if you notice, a lot of the stores, they aren't carrying this anymore, the M12, the 6.0s. You'll notice that. Just because of the warranty, and they're just not lasting. So many people don't like them, and they're just terrible. So that's one dud I don't like. That's M12. Another dud that I don't like, that's not necessarily so much about the tool, but it's more like what it's using. This is the right angle drill. So this is part number 2415-20. And you know, I just don't use it, especially now I got the insulation driver. I just never use it. I don't know. I just don't. Maybe I used it once or twice, and that's it. Maybe on a time where I need to drill on a right angle, but you know, you've got that much space. So, you know, I don't know. It's just, it wasn't. When I bought it, I thought I needed to get in a tight area. I tried using drill, it didn't work, so I bought it to do that. I did use it to get in that tight area, but then honestly, I've never used it since then. It just sits there. It sits actually on my wall. I never grab it for any jobs. So, not a huge fan of this guy. So therefore, that guy's one of the ones that I don't like. But there's not too many. There's not too many M12s that I don't like. So, whatever. Anyway, so that's all I got, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Actually, let me throw in one more. One more I got to add in there. This Milwaukee screwdriver here, I think I got this in a kit. This is part number, I want to say it's 2462-20, is it? 2462 yeah, it is 246220. So it's the Milwaukee screwdriver. I don't like this neither. I think I came in with a kit. I've never used it. Maybe I used it once or twice. I just don't use it. Not enough torque. Not a fan of it. But there's not too many I'm not a fan of, but this is another one. I wanted to give that a mention before we got off here. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. Comment. Let me know what your concerns. If there's any M12 you like or you don't like, let me know, and let's talk about it. But I am a huge Milwaukee fan. Obviously, I run Milwaukee. So hats off. Good job, Milwaukee. And thanks for watching, guys. Have a good day.
Tolo Noon.